Welcome to the podcast. Today we're diving into the philosophy of technology in educational leadership. Yes, exploring how K-12 leaders view tech in schools.
I'm excited about this topic. It's so relevant, right?
Absolutely. So we're talking about research that digs into articles from 2016 and 2017 by Mark David Webster, which really highlight how leaders see technology's role in education.
Right. And it's interesting because it identifies three distinct views, isn't it?
Exactly. We have first, the instrumental view of technology. That's where tech is seen as just a tool, a means
Yep.
to an end. It's not about the shiny gadgets, it's about meeting educational goals.
And then there's technological optimism, the idea that tech itself can solve many challenges in education, right?
Yes, it's pretty optimistic. Leaders with this view really believe in technology's positive potential to transform learning environments.
I mean, that's a lot of hope riding on tech to revolutionize settings that are often very traditional.
Right, and the third view is the belief in inevitable technological change. It's like a constant race, keeping up with the latest advancements because it's seen as unstoppable.
Mm,
Exactly. And that forces decisions even if they don't perfectly match educational needs.
that's where things get a little tricky, isn't it? It seems like there's a tension between using technology to support education specifically versus chasing trends.
Exactly. The research shows that although leaders do recognize that educational goals should drive technology adoption, they often end up prioritizing keeping up with tech trends because technology seems inevitable.
It's like they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Adhere to the core mission or succumb to the pressure of change.
Yeah, and think about it. This tension can sometimes lead to tech being implemented just for its own sake rather than with a clear purpose
Right.
in mind.
That makes me wonder, do you think this over prioritization might actually undermine effective teaching?
Well, that's a good point. While having state of the art tools is great, if those tools aren't aligned with solid educational strategies, then you might end up with technology overload that only confuses the learning process.
Mm hmm, exactly. It's like buying the latest smartphone without a plan for how it's really going to help you keep in touch with what's important.
Right, it's like you have a top notch car, but if you don't know how to drive it responsibly, it could lead to
Exactly.
accidents. Technology in education needs a clear instructional vision.
And did the research touch on how these philosophical views impact the actual decisions that leaders make regarding tech investments?
Yes, it did. Leaders with an instrumental mindset tend to invest in technology that directly supports classroom practices. Those with technological optimism lean towards experiments that can open up new possibilities. And then we have leaders who feel compelled to buy into the inevitable wave even if it doesn't directly match pedagogical needs.
So there's this interesting blend of decision making that sometimes pushes technology into the spotlight just because it's seen as an unavoidable trend.
Correct, and that's part of the critique. I mean, one could argue that this emphasis on technological inevitability might sometimes overshadow the real core educational needs. It's
Mm,
not enough to just have advanced tech if it doesn't drive learning outcomes.
exactly. And while that optimism is admirable, it might lead to investments in flashy tools that don't necessarily support curriculum goals.
Right. And interestingly, the research utilizes grounded theory methods. That means instead of imposing a preconceived structure, they let observations from educational leaders dictate the themes.
That's a robust approach because it really lets the nuances of these perspectives come to light, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it also shows how positions on technology can vary widely, even among leaders who, on the surface, share a common goal of improving
Yeah.
education.
I wonder, though, did the articles mention any strategies to harmonize these differing viewpoints?
Well, one key recommendation was to ensure that the push for technological change is always anchored by clear educational objectives.
Right.
Basically, leaders should ask, is this tech truly enhancing learning? Rather than just jumping on the latest bandwagon.
That makes perfect sense. Sometimes it's not the tech, but the thoughtful application of tech that makes the real difference.
Exactly, and this is where professional development becomes paramount. Educators need to understand both the potential and the limitations of technology, not just be enamored by its allure.
And there's a bit of a counterpoint here, right? Some might argue that, given rapid advancements, leaders must sometimes take a leap of faith to prepare students for a future they'll inevitably face.
Yes, well, I respectfully think that's a bit risky. I mean, if you invest too heavily in untested tech trends, You might be neglecting proven pedagogical methods that are the backbone of good teaching. I see what you mean.
True, it's a balancing act. It's essential to prepare students for a digital future without compromising today's effective educational practices.
Exactly, and it's like walking a tightrope. You need to manage that tension between innovation and tradition.
That's a great analogy. It reminds me of an orchestra where every instrument plays a role. If one is too loud, it can throw off the whole performance.
Precisely. And in education, every tool should harmonize with curriculum goals to create an enriching learning
Right.
environment. Each tool should be in tune with the overall mission.
Now that I think about it, this whole discussion really underscores the importance of reflective leadership in education.
Absolutely. Leaders must evaluate technology not just on trends, but on its genuine educational value and how it fits into a broader philosophy of learning.
And that's what these articles really highlight: how philosophical stances on technology shape practical decisions in our schools.
Right, and that introspection can make a difference between tech that just dazzles and technology that truly transforms learning. It's a call for measured, thoughtful integration.
I love it when research and philosophy intersect like this. It not only challenges us to rethink our assumptions, but also pushes us to innovate responsibly.
Absolutely. It's like mixing a bit of art with science, the art of teaching and the science of technology.
Right on. So, to wrap up, we're really seeing that educational leaders have multiple lenses through which they view technology, and the best path forward is acknowledging this diversity while keeping the focus on students' true needs.
Exactly. And in a constantly evolving world, staying mindful of that balance is more critical than ever.
It's been a thought-provoking chat. Thanks for unpacking these ideas so clearly.
Thanks for the engaging questions. It's been a pleasure discussing these layers of educational technology philosophy. Till next time.